Alright, so this is my practice video. I want to take a look at Z-scores and understanding what it is. So let's start by first just looking at this line and seeing how we can measure between 2 points. So I have point A, point B. So if I were to get out a measuring unit and try to measure, well, all the different ones I could use. Let's see, I could use inches to measure from A to B. I could use yards, right? I could use feet. I could use meters. I could use centimeters. I could use miles, kilometers. I can even use standard deviation. So again, right there, that's the key to looking at and working with our z-scores. It is how far in standard deviations to a number is from the mean. So let's say this is the mean and this is some number. Well, I can break this distance up into standard deviations. So that tells me how far away that could be. All right. So again, to measure from the mean to some number, that's why we use a z-score. All right. So let me switch screens here real quick and get a new one. Sorry, and get a clean slate. Okay. So here's our curve, and in the middle, change this. So here's our mean, and let's say this is some number. I have some number over here as well. So if I'm looking at how far away these two are, again, this would be so many standard deviations. And since I'm going to the right, this is going to be a positive z-score since I'm adding standard deviations. Now, as I go to the left, then I'm subtracting my standard deviations. So that's a negative z-score. All right. Now again, when we measure from the mean, we're measuring how many standard deviations we are. So if I say I have 1.34 standard deviations above the mean, then that means that z equals 1.34. So it is telling me how many standard deviations. And again, since it's above, that means it's positive. So now if I did, let's do the, oops, sorry, reset. So let me do 0.46 standard deviations below the mean. And so since I'm below, that means I'm on the left-hand side. So that means that z equals a negative 0.46. So again, when I tell you how many standard deviations there are above the mean, I'm looking at the right-hand side. So this side would be above, would be another way of saying that. And then when I'm below, that's on the left-hand side. Okay? And so when you see the phrase standard deviations above the mean or standard deviations below, it's again another way of describing what the z-score is. So why don't you go ahead and answer the next couple of questions and see how well you can do on identifying what those z-scores might be.